Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all well and having a great day. I'm just potting on some of my tomatoes. These are my outdoor variety of tomatoes, which are the blight resistant type. So I've done the Mountain Magic, which are pretty long, and now I'm just going to do my Crimson Crush plants, which are about right. They desperately need a bit more space. I've been growing them in those pots for way too long. Now, while I'm doing this, I just thought I'd chat to you all about what's happening here at the modern day Victory Garden. I've been sharing bits and pieces, but there's a lot of small stuff that is kind of going on behind the scenes, because it's just that time of year, isn't it? We're not quite ready to put anything out just yet, but we are sowing lots of seeds and pricking on plants, and as I'm doing now. But that repeated sort of behaviour, I just is the most of the work, the bulk of the work. And that's the same on the allotment as well. A lot of what I'm doing here is going on down on the allotment too. Now, the actual modern day Victory Garden itself, I feel, is a little on the messy side, and I'm sure you will agree with me there. What I've recognised is I've got a lot of plants in pots, and I grow a lot of flowers in pots for some reason, and I've done in the past, especially the permanent planting, and I don't quite know why, and I think they're making the place look messy, one of the things anyway. So I'm going to sort something out with those at a later date. Just going to do my Primabella tomatoes now. They're quite a bit smaller, but we'll see how they get on. So yeah, I think they are making the place look a bit messy. And the potatoes that are grown in pots, they're starting to grow. The only reason I'm growing those in pots is so I can move them around. I've just snapped that. So I can move them around into pathways and stuff to clear up space instead of dedicating beds to them here at home. That's my kind of thinking at the moment. But what I have done is kind of grouped all my pots and plants like that in one place, just to make watering a bit easier. And what I'm going to do is go through all my plants and figure out what I actually want to keep and what I don't want to keep, and then we can make an assessment from there on, and hopefully that'll tidy things up. That's going to be an important job to do over this next week. Right, now I've got those tomatoes. I've got my Salsify, which I just want to, is it Salsify? Yeah, Salsify, which I just want to pull into everywhere else there's any spare room. Never grown Salsify before, so intrigued to see how this turns out. So moving on from that, the bed that I have got planted, as I said the other day when I planted out the lettuces, we've got radish going, and the lettuces are in there, and I might put in some endive, because I've a lot of endive in the cold frame and greenhouse, which probably could do with going out quite soon as well. Talking of the cold frame, I've been moving plants around quite a bit, and they're going into that cold frame, getting ready to harden off and go outside. In particular, the brassicas, cabbages and plants like that. Although some of those I'm taking down the allotment tomorrow. They're not ready to plant out just yet, but I'm just making a bit more space. Now in the greenhouse, and I'm going to be moving these plants into the greenhouse in just a moment, things are moving along quite nicely. There's again, the plants that are planted in the bed, they seem to have taken well. They've not put on it much growth just yet, but I think they're just getting their roots down, which is what I really want to see them do. And all my little seedlings in there, they're quite happy. I think it's that time of year where things are moving along really nicely. I'll put these over to one side. Oh, actually, no, I've got some spare spaces. Wherever I've got some spare space, I'm going to pop in some Salsify just to make a bit more of less waste. Now, a couple of the experiments I've been running. Now, firstly, the potatoes in straw At the moment, they have not done anything. That doesn't mean to say they're not going to do anything. The other potatoes have started growing, but they were planted out a week or two earlier, so I expected them to grow. Didn't mean to do that. The peas in the pots, they've germinated, and I'm just waiting for them just to grow a little bit bigger before I finally get them planted out. I might be putting some down the allotment and some at home. But what I'm really pleased with is just to the side of me is my wicking bed. Now you may remember I made one with you guys on screen, but I actually ended up making 3. And the lettuce that was planted into 2 of them, it's grown and it's looking really good and healthy. In the 3rd one, I put some spring onions in just the other day. So it's too early to tell how they're going to do. But what I really am impressed with is, apart from when I set them up, I haven't had to water them. They really have held on to the water quite well. And that's probably a good week that they lasted. We did have some rain yesterday, but that was the only rain we've had. The rest of the time, they've just sat there and they've just absorbed the water. It's wicked itself up and the compost has stayed moist, which is kind of what I wanted to find out. And I do think if you're somebody, when we return to normal, that works away a lot, wicking beds are a good answer to get yourself growing vegetables and stuff without the worry of having to water it every day. Now moving forward, basically my plans are with the modern day Victory Garden, I'm going to have a really big tidy up this week. I mean, it's difficult to tidy up and throw things away at the moment because there's nowhere to throw certain items. But all I can do is have a really big tidy up, and then we can start planting out many of my plants in various beds, which I'll be showing you as we're going forward. I should say, chickens, they're very happy, and as are the quails. They've settled in really, really well, so I'm really pleased with how things have gone. Right, well, I'm now going to move these into the greenhouse to grow on, but that's it for today, so please take care. If you've been doing anything in your allotment and garden, let me know in the comments, but please take care, and I'll see you again next time.